This is more evidenced by Woody admitting on Thursday, I am making everything up. Now, let's even just get into the video of him admitting to, I'm lying, guys. And I'm not that I'm lying now, but when I was doing all those interviews, I was lying. So let's look at that. So Woody is this is Woody going on a rant, right? And now that I'm rolling into the show, I'm gonna come back and answer the chat in a little bit. But let's look at let's go ahead and hear what Woody is getting at here. These are some epic rants that we get in this here thing. All right, y'all.
Okay, let me make myself clear, right? Because you keep asking me about things I don't told investigators in the past. From, I can't say from when to when, but so much was going on. My name was on everything. The police kept coming to grab me. Every time they grabbed me, I had a different story for them. I know 100% facts, and I'm telling you now, I was not truthful. I was saying whatever they wanted me to say. I was saying whatever I could come up with. I was trying my best to convince them that I didn't do nothing, that I'm an innocent person, and that people put their hands on me. When they ask me about any of these things, you sitting here keep asking me step by step by step by step. And I'm telling you now, because you asked me, was I being truthful? Okay. I know I wasn't being truthful.
So is your testimony today that you lied in every interview that you did in 2015?
See, you the way you asking that, I don't recall what I was saying in the interviews, but I'm telling you now, when they was questioning me 2015, 14, whenever they was questioning me, I was lying. I was making up stories. So when they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. When they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. And when they was getting me and they were letting me go, I'm just telling you.
Do you recall telling every detective?
Every time they got me, I have told the police, I tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear, just let me go.
Okay, so y'all heard what he just said, right? Right. So he's telling y'all, he's telling the state, and he's telling the world and the jury, I was lying so much, I don't know what I told them, and you keep asking me about it. I have no clue. I don't know. I'm never going to know what I said until you tell me. He pretty much was telling her, like, tell me what I said, and I'll say, yes, I said it. Like, pretty much, if you saw a video of me saying it, or if a police officer told you I said it, then I probably did say that, because I was saying anything. I would have said anything, too, to get released from jail. And she it's like, I know Hilton probably knows what he was saying, but she was asking a question as if she didn't know what he was saying. And I'm just like, it's like what Woody is saying is crazy, but it makes sense. She's like, why would you lie if you wanted to be released? I'm like, he was in the streets. Why would he tell the truth? I mean, clearly. But she was trying to get him to say, I was lying because I didn't want them to catch me for what I was really doing. She was trying to trick him, like reverse psychology him into saying he was committing crimes out there. Because as y'all can remember, and we talked about this, they gave him that immunity order, right? And I said from the beginning, he does not trust that even with that immunity order, that they won't prosecute him for the stuff that he has actually done. He knows that he'll get less time just for the contempt or for perjury than he will for the things that he would admit if he actually told the truth on the stand. You understand what I'm saying? He was the type of look, put it like this. For somebody that's been on camera in an interrogation room multiple times the way he was, and to be pretty much still living in the same area that he has always lived in, around the same gang members, that lets you know that the reputation that he probably had in the streets precedes him. AKA, it sounds good on the internet to be like, oh, that's a rat, that's a snitch, all that. But the likelihood that somebody is going to tell one of these guys that they snitched to their face is low. There's low likelihood of that. And he knows that the stuff that his name has been associated with, he can't say on the stand. He would never, somebody like him would never say that, because the life that he comes from, he's never going to trust that they're actually going to honor their word. You understand what I'm saying? So he's going to still keep lying. He's been lying back then. He's going to keep lying now. He would rather go to jail for perjury than what he would say under this immunity order, where, like the judge told him, they can't go back on their deal and then prosecute you because that's what this immunity order is. Yeah, right. Like as much as he's like, I don't know what referencing mean, and can you tell me what recall means? He's not as dumb as he's acting. And yes, he's acting dumb. He's acting dumb to same thing Trontavious Stevens was doing. Same thing DK was doing. They're all acting. Okay? And shout out to them for holding it down because, and let's get into this. The difference between snitching and lying. Let's talk about it. And y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat. Pretty much, snitching is when now you can be snitching and lying too if you go lie and get somebody locked up. But this is the thing: a person that is snitching is about to go tell what happened to the police. You know what I'm saying? A crime happened, I saw it, and I'm going to tell the cops, right? Exactly what I saw, what happened. Somebody that goes in there and just makes up something, that's a little bit different. Now, you can be the judge on your own to say, like, that's still snitch or whatever, but it's different, though. And I'm about to tell you why, especially in this situation. Specifically with Woody going in there and telling them all of the stories that he went and told them in 2015, his lies are the reason that they can't convict these guys of that murder. You would think like, well, their name is only in it because of him. That's not true. The police in the streets felt like they knew there was a beef brewing already. The police already knew about the fights and all that. They knew because the police work at all the clubs in Atlanta. They know who these people are. Some of them are from here. Some of them have been living here for a long time. They know what's going on just like we know what's going on, right? So the police knew there was a beef going on already. Had Woody never went into the police station and said all of that stuff, they would have already been looking at a particular group anyway. You see what I'm saying? So Woody going in there and telling them what he told them and then being the only person to go in there and say the type of stuff he was saying, it made it so they couldn't really move forward with anything. They tried to, they went and charged these guys back then and they had to throw the case out because of the way Woody was lying. So do y'all see what I'm saying? There's a difference between snitching and lying. You see what I'm saying? So essentially, and the reason I brought this up is essentially Woody going and telling all that stuff is the sole reason Fulton County cannot get them for this murder. That's why they had to wrap it up in this big fake RICO case. Because they're not even confident that they will ever be able to convict that murder independently. They know that they can't convict for that independently. So it's like, let's wrap it up. They essentially, the murder is the core of this RICO, but then they wrapped it up in a bunch of other like associations and petty crimes and all this type of stuff. So now we can paint them as gang members. We can have these people admit that they were gang members. It was a gang and all that, right? And then we'll just like kind of trick the jury into believing, well, if they are gang members and if they did steal cars and if they did steal guns and if they did shoot at people in some instances, and if a guy did get his head blown off just trying to leave the gas station, then they probably also committed this murder against Donovan Thomas. That's the reason why this murder is wrapped up in this RICO. Because normally when a murder happens, especially when they have a suspect the next day, they normally convict within shortly after, right? 9 years later, no conviction, and it's because of one person. It's because Kenneth Copeland went up in there and told them such like a believable but fake story that they can't do anything with the information, and they can't do anything with any information. Right? So I just want to put that out there that although you might have different labels that you want to put on Kenneth Copeland, one of those labels needs to be outsmarted the police. You know what I'm saying? Because if he is related to multiple supposed murders and multiple supposed shootings, and he keeps getting out of them because of the stories he's telling that they can't verify, but nobody else will corroborate against, or deny, or reject, or say it's false or whatever, he's been able to keep himself and everybody else around him essentially out of prison for these long terms. Excuse me. Excuse me. So just keep that in mind when we start thinking about, oh, Kenneth Copeland with the rat emojis and all that. That's fine. You know what I mean? Call him what you got to call him. But I'm saying the guys that are on trial, these 6 and probably a few other, they have been out for so long. because of the stories that he told the police. I'm just saying. I'm just letting y'all know. Thank you for the bless you. So let's get back into Woody admitting to lying some more.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview, you got to believe me, I'm telling y'all the truth? Okay.
That sound like me.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you can go fact check what I'm telling you?
Say that again?
Sure. Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you had in 2015, you can go check what I'm saying so you can believe me?
Probably. I don't know if I said it or I ain't said it.
In some of those interviews, were you in custody? Were you arrested in some of those interviews?
I think so.
Okay. Do you recall telling detectives in those interviews that you're just trying to get out of jail, so I'm going to tell you all what happened so you can check it and I can get out of jail?
Yeah, I told the investigators that I remember, I think, in one of the interviews, they was locking me up and my child's birthday was coming up. And when they got me, I said, listen, man, whatever y'all want me to say, I would tell you right now. Just tell me what to say and I would say it. Tell me what y'all want to know and I would tell you. So if they would have asked me about President Trump, I would have had a story about Trump. If they would ask me about you, I would have had a story about you. Whatever to convince them that I ain't do nothing, it wasn't me. That's what my intention was. So you're asking me about interviews, and I keep telling you, you keep asking me step by 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 step. This is what I did. When they got me on this day, and I was going to jail, I try to come up with something to tell them. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
What benefit would it be for you to lie to the police if you were trying not to be in trouble?
I was hoping to convince them so they could let me go.
So why would you lie to convince them?
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right.
But when the time they let me go, I thought I was smarter than them.
Did the detectives?
I thought that was silly because he told a story that, and he was right. Sometimes I felt like I was excuse me. Sometimes I felt like I was smarter than them. He told a story that he was in an interrogation room after a shooting. Somebody shot at him. He shot back. And a cop believed him when he told him, if you let me go right now, I'll bring the gun back. The gun that I was using, I'll bring it back. And the cop actually, I guess he was green or whatever. The cop actually believed him. And what Woody actually said on the stand was pretty much that he was pretty much green. He didn't really know me like that. So he thought I was really going to come back with this gun. He was like, I couldn't tell Gaither a lie like that. Like, Gaither know me for real, and she got it out for me. Gaither would have never fallen for something like that. Right. But this other guy, he was green. He didn't know. He let me leave. So he was like, yeah, situations like that, my lies worked. It got me up out of them interrogation rooms and I left. Right.